Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video on the channel. We've got a new league racing highlights video for you today, and we have got WOR Belgium for round 1 of the championship, and it's another star-studded grid. We've got more esports drivers, more esports academy drivers, and those from the top of the league racing ladder here in this league, as well as PSGL. So it's going to be a tough season, but we're looking to come in here to have some fun. And unfortunately, we've got a slightly weaker track for us to start with at Belgium. We just really don't like the curbs and how you have to take them, and you know, the random kind of nature of it. But you know, I suppose it's the same for everyone, so we're just going to have to grin and bear it and hope it goes our way in the end. But as we descend through the second sector of Spa, we're keeping it nice and clean. This is our first lap in Q1. Looking to keep it all clean, nice and tidy. No invalidations. We are miles away from any kind of track limits there. We're just looking to get a nice tidy lap in to save the tyres, go into Q2. Lovely jubbly. So as you can see here, we're taking absolutely zero risk. We run a little bit wide there, so you were kind of fighting the car to keep it on the within the white lines, but we do it nicely, and we did a 13.2 through the middle sector split.
Hopefully this guy gets out of the way.
So we're looking good for another 0.4, as Jake Benham went to the top with the 0.4 as well. And if we can get that in, we'll be safely through to Q2. Bresne gets out of the way, the king of Spa. And as we flick it through the right and then climb the curb on the left, we get a good traction, open the DRS as soon as possible. There you go. Straightest run to the line, and it's a 0.4.
414, should be alright.
Nothing special, but it'll do the job. So we skip on now to the end of Q1, and as you can see, we ended up P5.
So once again, get
We had a couple of guys go late at the end, like Jari and Ulas, to go ahead of us.
Jari went into P4 right at the end.
We're very much comfortable into the next session. But something we do have to bear in mind is for the race, we have rain coming in the latter half, in the very predicted in the later stages of the race. So we have the medium tyres on for Q2, which is a big risk, especially given there's 20 seconds left in the session and we haven't set a lap. So at the moment we are looking to be P15 if, you know, everyone gets a lap in. So we have to get this lap in now. Try and get ourselves through to Q3 on the medium tyres. It's going to be tough, but there are a few other cars out on medium tyres. As you can see there, the P10 time is by Simon Perigny on the medium tyres, and that is our target to try and beat. But even if we start outside the top 10, we can still make the strategy work, I believe. I think going long to reach the rain and then pit straight onto the inters will be the better strategy. So we're happy to take that risk of falling out of Q3 for the benefit of the strategy. As we flick it through here, we're only a tenth and a half down. This is on a delta from an old set of soft tyres. So it's not looking too bad. We're having to take it a bit safe, as this is our only lap of the session. So zero risk has been taken there. Again, miles away from taking any sort of invalidation through pull on. So if we flick it through here, we have to mount this curb, get the rotation. Same with this one. Early on the power. Not leaving anything to chance here. Missed the apex slightly there, and that is going to cost us all the way down to
exist apparently.
As we say there's no apex to be seen. And that's going to cost us all the way down this back straight. So we're going to have to hope for some kind of miracle here to get through to Q3, sorry. As Ulas sets the fastest lap of a 41.0. That's already a very competitive time, so fair play to him. As we miss the curb, but we climb this one decently well. We struggle to get the car turned.
Car just didn't want to rotate. That's always good.
Come across the line for a 42.3. It's P8 at the moment. We'll see whether it's enough at the end of the session. We skipped to the results, and fortunately we stayed P8. Jet West, Jari Fitz, Ruben Pedrenio and someone in P15 didn't get a lap in. So that is absolutely critical for us, and it gives us the opportunity to go for some laps in Q3 and better our grid position on those medium tyres. So you join us here for what is actually going to be our fastest lap of the session, and you'll see why later on. But this is on our first lap of Q3. New set of tyres, so we're going to absolutely send it now. We have nothing to lose. We're on the alternate strategy, and we're only going to gain from our performance in Q3, hopefully. So we're going to keep it pinned nice and easy up through Eau Rouge and Radion, keep it as straight as possible, minimising any scrub on the tyres. Straightest and truest run to Lake Arm here at the end of the straight. We're looking for a 0.0 first sector, which we do. So we're in line for a good time if we can keep it together using the curbs. Didn't commit as much as we could. We took it a little bit safe through the end of the Lake Arm section there. But it's okay for now. But I can't help but think, looking back at this, it was maybe a little bit too cautious, our approach. And you're going to see here, heading down the hill, we decided we needed to send it, and we make a critical error through Pouon, and that's going to lose us a ton of time. And not only that, it's going to hurt our rear tyres into the rest of the lap, so we're not going to be able to push as much. And that is absolute disaster.
The first one's completely in the bin.
As you see, a 13.2 middle sector split.
Garbage.
And as you can hear, I am not happy in the slightest. That is good, in line with our sector splits from Q1 in Q3. It's not good enough, and we're going to have to go again at the end of the session if we have any chance of getting pole position, or anywhere that's sort of even slightly respectable up the grid. But we send it through the last chicane regardless, get the delta down.
It's like a 3 or a 4.
And we come across the line here for 41.3. Oh well, it's a delta to work from. That's alright. As I say there, that's all it's going to be. It's a delta to work from for our last run in Q3. But as you can see here, we come on board for our final lap in Q3, and we head up through Eau Rouge. And yeah,
Go. I was probably
we
eating the
cut the flat left-hander at Eau Rouge. Like an absolute noob.
Yeah, you're right, Luca. But
so we are down
how
in
can you do that in Eau
P7,
Rouge? Exactly.
and that is where we'll start for the beginning of the race. And that is one of the worst mistakes I've ever made in league racing. I honestly, there was no need to take that risk. But anyways, we move on, and we're skipping on now to the race start. We are on the medium, so it's going to be a little bit rough in these first couple of laps with soft runners starting right behind us. We're just going to try and keep our nose clean. Lights out and away we go, and we're going to try and get the best kind of traction we can. We lose a position to Simon, and here comes Jeffrey Ritchie flying down the outside of us. Nearly takes our left front wheel out for good measure. We had to take some evasive action.
But fucking hell, he could have taken our left wheel off if I didn't.
As we say there in slightly more colourful language. So we're just going to have to deploy our ERS down the straight. We want to stay in front of Caraton and Simon Prigny on our medium strategy. We want to be leading from those guys because we have Stachilek further up the field on the medium strategy as well. He managed to get a decent lap in qualifying 3, unlike us. So it's critical that we try and keep this track position and try and make up some positions when these guys pit. But as you can see there, Ulas goes for a spin. He has some contact there up the front. And he has gone spinning and falling to the back of the field. That's an absolute disaster for him. But we are up into P8, and we take any free positions that we can. And you can see here,
why have I got so much understeer?
Why have we got so much understeer? We thought we had damage briefly. And we asked Jeff, but we haven't got any damage. We just don't have any grip. And it's absolutely no grip. Absolute pandemonium on this first lap in terms of our mindset. We have no idea what's going on. We haven't actually done any race practice, which is quite normal for us. So we're just trying to get used to the car. It's a very aggressive setup. But Simon's run out of ERS already here. You can see his red light flashing. And that's very confusing for us. But something we didn't know at the time is that he had an ERS glitch where his overtake button was stuck on. So he's been using ERS, the overtake button, through the whole of the first lap, and that continues for a fair while longer. So that is an absolute disaster for Simon. But we're
not interested in fighting these soft runners.
As we say there,
absolutely uninterested.
We are not interested in fighting these soft runners. We can afford to sit behind them. We skip onto lap 3. We're still behind Jeffrey, and the rain has started to hit. And I'm incredibly confused at this point because the forecast we were given is that we have rain later on in the race, and it's already raining.
That's going to screw us.
So these guys on soft tyres are going to probably get away with it here, and they're probably going to be able to stay out to the inter tyres, which is an absolute disaster for us. We've basically given up track position for no reason.
That's alright. But Josh is gone now.
And we cut
Not
we
ready
cut
for
a lap
Inters.
later onto the back of Simon
Yeah.
now. He's still got his ERS fault. I think he's...
What is he doing?
As you say that, what is he doing?
Is he even looking at the
I
track?
don't think his full mind is on
What is going
the
on?
driving, and that's because he's trying to figure out this problem that he's having. So we're going to go down the inside of this straight here. It was a little bit tighter
Okay,
than
I don't know what's going
necessary.
on with Simon
As you
right
say,
now.
there, we have no idea what's going on with Simon, but after the race, it was more than evident what his problem was.
Medium tyres, even compared
Skipping
to
on
the
to lap
old
7,
softs.
the track is getting very wet indeed. You have people
he pit?
pitting
He
for
does.
the inter tyres.
I think we should
Josh
stay out.
pits he actually pitted for the medium
Now, this
tyres,
is
which I didn't know at
this
the
is
time.
either
But we do have people
this is either going to do us a massive
pitting
favour or this is going to ruin our race.
onto the inters. We skip onto lap 10. The rain isn't getting harder. If anything, it's getting lighter. So the time for the inters isn't coming, and we're losing a ton of time to people even on the old soft tyres. Beresne pits on the previous lap. We have Jake Benham in the pits now, the net leader. As we come around now, the track has dried out completely. But that has cost us almost a second a lap through the laps it was raining because of the medium tyre compound being absolutely useless compared to the softs. As you can see in the top left, Danny Beresne takes the net lead of the race ahead of Jake Benham just by that one lap undercut. Skipping on to lap 13, we've passed the midway point in the race, and we think it's time to box and put on those soft tyres. We had Ruben Pedreño try the undercut on us on the previous lap, so we have to respond here to try and keep the track position. So this is...
Yeah, I know exactly what's causing us issues in this setup.
Yeah, and as we say there, we know exactly what's causing us issues with the setup. And not only that, the medium tyres was costing us a lot of time in those mixed conditions. So we've had basically a combination
So we're
of
gonna lose
factors
some
hurting us
traction
throughout
to
this
these
race.
guys.
So we're going to see where we come out now. We're going to try and get the DRS on Simon here.
Get the DRS.
It'll be absolutely huge if we can get that. So we're going to deploy the DRS, make sure we're within the DRS window, which we are, and we get
yeah, we have to
DRS
respond
down
to
this
that, but we'd
main
have lost
straight.
Position to Ruben.
And now
He gained
I
like
think the
2.5
maximum we can
seconds
get from
undercut.
this race is P4, maybe if we can catch Josh Adowu, maybe just P5. As we can see here, we caught up to the back of Simon later on in that lap, and he's got absolutely no ERS, as he has for the most of the race. So we go down the inside of him very easily. Ulas has no ERS either. So we're just going to sit in behind. We're going to play this strategically. We're going to play it smart. We've got 8 seconds to Josh, so it's unlikely we're going to catch him in these 8 laps remaining, but it is possible as long as we can have a good solid stint on these soft tyres. Ruben Pedreño sets the fastest lap of the race, so it's absolutely critical we pitted when we did, or he would have been in front of us. So we're just going to sit in behind you, lass.
8 seconds to catch Josh. Yeah, no chance.
As we say there, no chance
Unless
to
he has
catch
a
Josh.
penalty, maybe.
But you'll see through the middle sector of this lap how much we are catching, and maybe, just maybe, we can make this top 4 happen. As we go down the outside of ULAS, we have the DRS, easy pass down the straight here, and now we have our sights set on P4 Josh Adowu. So we gained a couple of tenths on that straight purely because of the DRS, and now we're going to absolutely send it through this middle sector, try and close that gap down and break the DRS from the cars behind. Because even though we have the tyre advantage now, we will not have the tyre advantage at the end. So as you can see here, we've broken the DRS through less than half of the lap, and the gap is coming down. It was 8 seconds at the start of the lap, or 8.3 I think it was. It's now under 7, or well, bang on 7 actually. So we're just going to come through here, absolutely place our car on the curbs, and yeah, we're just going to ignore that happened, basically. But we have absolutely thrown the race there. Any chance of top 4 has gone, and the safety car comes out, basically ruins our race yet again.
I don't know what the right call was.
And we had no idea what the right call was. We had soft tyres on, but they were starting to wear even after 4 or 5 laps. So we come in, put a fresh set of softs on, and I think that was another mistake we made in that race. As we have Sam Corby, who came past us on his brand new soft tyres, and he has put himself into a net P3. But if you look at the bottom of the screen now,
Oh no.
Jake Benham has been disqualified from the net lead of the race.
Jake Benham disqualified. What has he done?
He is absolutely
Where's his car?
thrown this race away.
Oh my god. Did he hit the safety car or something?
And we were just questioning there, what the hell happened to him? He overtook the safety car by accident.
Maybe if he didn't have the 3
and he
second
got
penalty,
disqualified
it's
within
just
2
thrown out.
seconds. So, and as you can see here, we're
Is it
warming
just
up
hit
our
me?
tyres for the restart of the safety car, and we get a 5-second penalty. So things just
Oh,
go
this
from
game's
bad to
shite.
worse in this race. We get hit from behind from Luke Smith.
That'll be removed, but that's just extra effort for
But
me.
as I say there, we can remove the penalty, so that's just extra effort for us after the race, which we didn't really fancy. Well, as you can see here, Danny Bresnay in the distance. He's going to put his foot down now. This is when he wants to go.
Go!
And
Fuck's sake, go!
And yeah, we lose
Can't overtake.
a ton of time there.
Guy's fucking sleeping.
As Simon, maybe he was trying to figure out his
Fuck's
ERS
sake.
situation. I don't know what was happening there, but he's been caught napping, and we're going to lose the DRS detection point if we're not careful to these guys in front. But it looks like we're just about getting in the DRS, because ULAS up in front in P5 has wing damage. Not only were me and Luke caught up in a little incident on the safety car, ULAS and Josh were, I believe, and ULAS has front wing damage. So that will be a free position for us. But where will we be able to get past? How bad is his damage? We'll soon find out. As we're sitting behind Simon here into Lacom, you can see ULAS has absolutely no front end. His front wing is completely broken. And I don't know why he wouldn't have pitted. As we go down the inside here with Simon, as we try and fight past ULAS, we send it down the inside in the downhill section. And we get the move done. We are P5, but we're 2 seconds behind Ruben. As we finish that lap off, we've got 3 laps to go, and we're outside the DRS detection. Fortunately, as we had a safety car, there is no DRS active yet. It will be active on the next lap. So this lap coming up is absolutely critical that we get within the DRS window, which we do. We halve the gap from one lap to another, 1.4 down to 0.7, and we have the DRS now. But as a result of that, we've dropped Simon, but we have also expended so much ERS. 2 laps to go now. We have 35% ERS, and we're just trying to save anything we can behind the back of Ruben Pedreño here as we come through this left-hand of Essex. He loses the back end, and he picks up a 3-second time penalty. So that, as long as it can't be removed, is going to promote us up into P4 at the end of this race, as we can get our penalty removed. Josh Adowu has a 5-second penalty, but that was for the same reason as us, so he can get his removed as well. So we are in a net P4 here, but we want to make something happen on the track. We want to get past Ruben Pedreño if we have any chance here of getting on the podium. So we're going to try and line ourselves up as best as we can through this last chicane, get a good traction. He loses the back end slightly early on the power. DRS open, using a little bit of ERS to get close as well. Luke Smith sets the fastest lap of the race. He's making a late charge in this race as well. And we're just going to have to see if we have some better straight line speed or something than Ruben here. But we're in a DRS train at Spa. It's going to be impossible to overtake in a straight line. So we stop deploying the ERS, and we're just going to wait for later in the lap. Hopefully,
I'm just going to pray he runs out.
as we say there, we're going to pray he
do.
runs out. But what we,
Or maybe we're gonna
what we
overtake him
failed
on
to
the straight.
realise here is that I used a lot of ERS to catch this train. So it's unlikely that these guys ahead are going to be running out of ERS anytime soon, unless they've been struggling on pace. So we're on the last lap of the race here. We're approaching the midway point of the lap, and Ruben makes a slight mistake once again, and we are smelling blood here. We absolutely want this position on track, just in case he can get that penalty removed, depending on how warranted his other 2 warnings were. So we're not going to leave anything on the table here, trying to pick up the slipstream. We're within 0.3 of a second. But as you can see here, by this next corner, we missed the apex, and that's going to cost us a lot of time. You have to mount that curb there. Even if it spun us earlier in the race, it is definitely worth taking that risk. You see, we lost even a 1/10 through that section, and now we have 30% of ERS to burn, but we are 0.4 behind.
Nothing to do. DRS train.
And everyone is doing the same thing.
With
So
everyone having plenty of ERS.
unless we can send it in this last chicane, it's going to
Is it the
be
safety car?
P5 on the road here. So we're going to fake a little moves to the inside, see if it scares him off the road, but it wasn't to be. We were way too far back, and he was wise to that. So we're going to come around the last couple of corners now, and it's going to be P5 on the road. And yeah, it was a very disappointing race for me. It was mistakes through qualifying, through the race, maybe through strategy as well. And we come home, it says P7 on the leaderboard, but after penalties, we came home P4. So it was Beresne from Sam Corby, Josh Adowu, and myself was the new order after penalties were taken into account. But yeah, what a race! What a race, guys! It was very, very messy from me, and at least it's the start of the season where we don't have any sort of momentum, so we can build from the next race hopefully in Imola. But as I said, it's been a tough race for us, and we've still come home P4. We've got a decent bag of points, so hopefully going forward from that we can have some better results into the next round at Imola. Imola's a decent track for me, but I haven't driven it in months, so we're gonna have to practice a decent amount for that to be as quick as some of these guys. We have Challengers drivers in here who will be sweating that track, as they have it up in the Challengers series as well. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed a slightly messy one from us, but we'll be looking to fight back in the next one at Imola, and also the immediate race coming up after this will be PSGL Britain, so keep an eye out for that on the channel as well. But yeah, that's been it from me, guys. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and yeah, peace out.